much today. It is that time of year again, and everybody's planting stuff out. Everybody's getting things into your garden, and I just did my episode on getting out your onion sets and onions. So now today, this is the 19th, I believe, or 18th. It's the 18th, I think. 18th of March. I don't even know what date it is. 18th of March, but I know if for a fact it's past my last frost date in Zone 8. So Zone 8, the last frost date usually March 15th. So check your calendars. If you live in Zone 8, you probably are ready to plant out things like sweet corn. They usually require a minimum temperature of 55 degrees during the day at all times mostly, but they can still live down and actually survive if you get a little bit of a cold snap. So if your temperatures dip down to like 46, 50 degrees, you should still be able to have your sweet corn alive, just as long as you don't get any frosts. But basically their optimum growing temperatures is, in the 55 degree range. So basically right now is the perfect time to get them out, because right here today it is around 68 degrees. It is sunny. You need to pick a really nice sunny spot for them. So they need to have at least 8 hours of sunlight a day. So pretty much anywhere in your yard that's south facing and gets a good amount of sunlight will work. Pretty much what I'm going to be doing. So basically you just want to get them out. Right about now you want to make sure that the weather is right. You want to make sure they get enough sun. They need to get 8 hours of sun, so make sure you plant them in a south facing area. They need to be in an area that definitely gets some afternoon sun, and it doesn't need to be morning sun. Morning sun's good for them, but they don't really mind it. They really like the afternoon sun and the midday sun. So I chose this area for some sweet corn. Just regular, it's called Botanica Sweet, and it's just a basic sweet corn heirloom seed. So that's going to be good. But I also want to go through and you're in really kind of close here and show you really how to plant it, because some people just kind of like haphazardly place the corn down. It is very methodical in how you place it, and you get better yields on how you plant. So you need to be very, I guess, conscious about what you're doing when it comes to planting these in the ground. So some people start from seed too, which also is a good way to do it. If you start from seed indoors and then in little seed pots, and then you transplant them outside when they grow like a couple inches, so that you can like really get the spacing right. That's an easier way to do it, so you could do it that way if you wanted to. This is just the way that is more, I don't know, customary, I guess. But I also have some black. Oh, there's a fly right there. So I had to land on my sweet corn packets. But I also have some black Aztec sweet corn, which is basically the same. It's just sweet corn, but it's black. It's good for tortilla chips and stuff like that, and quesadillas and stuff. But those are going to be good. Those are going to go out in my front yard. This area is just going to be straight sweet corn. So let's get down here and we'll show you. Alright, so I'm going to just lightly kind of push around the soil here. I had some carrots planted here that were overwintering. They didn't turn out very good because the compost was too rich, and they started to spiral, become very ugly, non-edible carrots. But basically what you want to do is you just want to kind of use, this is called an onion hoe, or a draw hoe, by the way. It has the point on it. You just basically want to use it to kind of loosen up the soil, push it around. You don't have to move the soil. I try to do it as little as possible when it comes to the just top couple inches. I don't try to go deep, because deep is unnecessary and you mess with a lot of the earthworms that way. So basically just going shallow is the best way to do it. And you can see some of the carrot pieces that are still in here. They're stuck in the soil. the worms been munching on, I just throw them over to the side. Even though they're good food for the worms, you don't really want them in there decomposing too much when the corn is there. So you basically just want to break up all the really big clods of dirt so that it's a little bit more fine, and that the corn doesn't have such a problem with breaking through it. So I just went all the way down there. There's another big piece. Get all these carrot pieces out of here. And I'm going to go down this entire row. Part of this is compost that I added in. However, part of it is clay. So I'm going to amend the clay with some fertilizer, some chicken manure fertilizer, just to get it nice and rich and better for them to grow in. Because right now, because corn is a very heavy feeder, guys. So you want to make sure that you have the correct amount of fertilization and fertile soil for growing it. So basically now I'm just going to make a trench, and I'm going to pull along. It's going to be pretty deep. It's going to be like 5 or 6 inches. So, and that's the depth you want to plant them in, because they have a root structure that really does benefit from being down deep or deeper in the soil. So you want to make sure that you make an effort to get down pretty deep, or a good amount. Like, it doesn't matter how deep you plant these, because they're going to come up no matter what. It's going to happen. They're going to find their way through the soil. Set the camera here. Get on this side of it. So, I'm going to open my seed packet. Throw another carrot to the side. We're going to open this up. Get our corn seed out. And I'm gonna get rain here in a couple days, so I'm probably gonna water this in. But I'm gonna show you another trick. I'm gonna do two seeds each, and I'm gonna go 6 inches apart. So roughly there. See that? See how I can go like this with my fingers? That's how far you want to put them apart. So you want to really maximize your space. So right about here, that's about good. So fingers like this, right? Okay, and then you measure down, and then that's where you place it. So wherever your pinky finger is pointing, or your index finger, depending on what side you're standing on, that's where you want to place. So 6 inches apart all the way down, guys, at around 6 inches, or around 3 to 4, maybe 5 inches of depth in the soil is best, so that they can really get that water uptake when they start growing. So you really want to make sure that you get this just right, because if they don't get enough water, what's going to happen? They're not gonna grow right. They're not gonna yield very well. It's gonna be more or less not as successful as it would have been. So you want to make sure you get the right depth, so the root structure goes down, and you want to make sure that you get the right amount of spacing, so that you can get the correct pollination. And because they're all wind blown pollinated, corn is wind blown pollinated, so you want to make sure you get the right pollination. You want to make sure that you get the correct amount of just basic spacing for sun, because if they're too crowded, they won't grow right either. So it's kind of specific with corn. There's a little bit more, I guess, tried and true method to it than other plants, but this is the basics, guys. You just want to plant it in here. We're going to cover it up afterwards, give it a nice water in, and then I'm going to show you another method I'm going to use to really boost the germination and get the soil really nice and warmed up for them to grow really quickly. You have it, the end result here. I made myself a little it's like a little polytunnel. Sometimes you call them hoop houses. But what the premise of this is, oh, my steak came out here. But the premise of this is that you basically put the plastic over top of it. In here, it creates like a little mini greenhouse, and that little mini greenhouse, it's open on both sides so air can come through and move about. But also it keeps that warmth a little bit in there for a while, especially with the sun being down on it. And that heats up the soil. The soil then starts working, microorganisms start coming to life, earthworms. It keeps moisture in so that you don't have to water as much. It also keeps rain off so there's not too much water getting pounded onto the soil, compacting it. So all these things kind of benefit the soil, and in turn it makes your plants germinate faster. So basically that's what I did here to kind of make it so also it kind of gives a little bit of frost protection, just in case you are planting your corn out and you do have a little mild frost come through. You're less likely to lose these guys because this little greenhouse is here, and heat's going to stay in during the day, and kind of almost, or the soil is going to have that heat. It's going to retain the heat, and it's going to release it during the night. And if it's warmer than the surrounding air temperature, it's going to heat this up a little bit and keep a little bit of hot air stuck in these little this little polytunnel here. So in turn, polytunnels help a lot, or mini hoop houses, they help a lot. So basically putting one of these up for any of your early starts, they keep cats off too, so it's a multi-benefit, Hi baby, hi. It's a multi-benefit for everybody, everybody wins. The earthworms win. They get a little nice warm place to stay that's nice and humid. They have food because you added some, maybe some manure, maybe some compost, whatever you add them there, and and the plants love it too because they can grow and germinate very fast and then take off. You'll have to probably watch this pretty carefully because corn, once it takes off, it just grows like a weed. It freaking grows like a weed, and because that's what it is pretty much. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. I hope you liked this video and hope you liked the little how-to. I guess it's not really how-to because many other people do corn different ways, but my little instructional guidelines into growing corn, I guess. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me today, and I hope you come back soon. Bye, everybody.